Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Today's matchup features the top-scoring pass offense in the NFL. The Seahawks are top 10 in passing TDs, and they go up against the Eagles defense that will need to be on its game.
Okay, Larry, we are just south of historic Pioneer Square at CenturyLink Field in the beautiful city of Seattle, Washington. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. Leading them is their second-year quarterback, also the number 2 overall pick a season ago, Carson Wentz.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game.
Now a first carry for LeGarrette Blount. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I think there's one element that just keeps increasing on defense in the NFL, and that's speed. They want it in every position, and we just saw there some linebackers who can go sideline to sideline, run past that trash, go past people, and make tackles near the sidelines.
And not only near the sideline, but also in the backfield there for the loss. On second down, here's Wentz. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he is knocked down from the side near the 42. That'll go as a loss of 5. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Wentz. Over the middle to Smith. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. So here are the Seahawks now with a long field in front of them. They'll be led out by their 5'11" quarterback from Wisconsin by way of NC State, and that's Russell Wilson.
And I thought in last week's game, he found a way to win like a good pitcher without his best stuff. I mean, he did throw 2 interceptions, offset by 1 touchdown pass. Not the ratio, not the numbers you're really looking for as a QB. But finding a way to win, that's all that really matters.
And he'll use his blockers to get this up over the 20 to the 21. Well, look there at what Lacey was able to do a week ago. 23 carries, 77 yards.
After the last game, they have plenty of reason to be confident in their running game. And even though they're facing a top 10 defense, they're not going to shy away from doing what they do best. Make them adjust to them. Make them stop what they do before they go to any type of a changeup.
To throw is Wilson. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down. And this offense often hinges on one of the best tight ends in the league, and that's Jimmy Graham.
I think he made up for lost time when he got to the NFL because in college, he was mainly a basketball player, a defender who couldn't score. Now he's flipped it around in the NFL. Every time he touches the ball, he's a threat to score.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Lacy. And he won't get to the marker as they're going to stop it for a second straight play right at the line of scrimmage. Boy, that's a lot of sirloin steak to be taken down for no gain, partner.
Are you trying to suggest that he is a huge man?
He is
not just a big man, a huge man.
Big boy.
Well, how about the credit then for the defense to be able to chop that big tree and put him on the ground?
I know back when you played, it took 4 of you to take a guy like that down, right?
Well, that's for sure. And you know what else? I didn't want to challenge him at dinner either.
He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. Sproles, the return. That'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 45. And the Eagles will have it taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Nelson Aguilar, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be tackled right on the midfield logo. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Again, here's Blunt. Room here to run. LeGarrette Blunt past the 20. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. A big play on the ground there. It goes for 36 yards.
So under the category of, while it can't be us because we're not that good, but could you imagine if this was you? LeGarrette Blunt, his first 1,000-yard season since, what, 2010, his rookie year? And 18 touchdowns in the regular season, and no longer with New England.
He is over 30 now. He turned 30 in December. I don't know if that played a factor, but yeah, such a productive year, and then he's gone.
Well, that just tells you this. Now he's going to be playing with a chip on his shoulder trying to prove something.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And the big meat on the D-line, we'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
So what will they do? On the ground, through the air, let's see. 2nd and 9. It's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. And our statistician, Ben Ramsauer, just held up 3 fingers to remind me he now has 3 tackles for a loss only in the first quarter.
Well, Ben's got it detailed perfectly. He always gives us the right stats. I'd love to be on the offense's headset right now because what you're hearing is, can someone please block him? Come up with a scheme, come up with something. Make sure you block him because he's disrupting everything.
And Sturgis able to knock it through. And the Eagles, they take a 3-0 lead. So it's a 7-play drive, but it stalls out in the end.
Let's credit the defensive front seven. They were a little leaky at the start of the drive, but they stiffened toward the end.
Now it's Sturgis converted on the field goal. Now he'll send this one away on the kickoff. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And out now come the Seahawks. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. And the defense now for the Eagles.
Jordan Hicks battled a lot of injuries while at the University of Texas, but his last season there played up to the potential they saw when he was coming out of high school. Well over 100 tackles, ranged from sideline to sideline, could also drop it.
Second down, Lacey. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. So just a lone field goal in this first quarter of play. 3-0 is our score. We'll be back to Seattle right after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. Wilson. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 8 yards on the ground there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 2.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Now LeGarrette Blount gets set to go again on offense. At his current pace, sure looks well in line for a 1,000-yard season, but Some of the older folks watching that remember the 12-game seasons in the NFL probably say, man, it was a lot harder to do that back then.
Yeah, even the 14-game seasons. And, you know, when we talk to those veteran runners, some of those guys who wear gold jackets, right, and appear in Canton, they look at this and go, you know, it's kind of like going to school and taking 5 years to get your degree instead of just 4.
A victory lap. Now, they also used to walk uphill to school both ways.
In the snow.
In the snow.
Blizzards.
Milk was 5 cents. Hey, but he's having a great year, not to take anything away from him. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll make it 2nd down. Wentz going to give this one to Blunt. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
So when you call a corner blitz, what a lot of teams call a cat blitz, you're expected to come after the quarterback. But in this case, he ran into the ball carrier. Really nice technique, because what you do is you come deepest to deepest offensive player so he can't get outside of you.
The Eagles on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Working from the gun, Wentz. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Cliff Averill, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
Here's Donnie Jones now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And this is their 3rd drive. Maybe the focus right now not so much on points, but getting their first down.
And when you start off a game, you don't even think that's an issue, do you? But you go a drive, a 2nd drive, no 1st down, that becomes an issue. Now you got to think about, okay, what type of play calling do I have to do to get us in a spot to pick that first one up?
On 1st down, Wilson. And this is caught. It's Jimmy Graham. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Now Wilson on 2nd down. And Graham's got it over the middle. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. A Seahawk 1st down. Wilson to his big target, Graham.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Lacy. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point you've got to win at the point of attack. And on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46.
I'm getting the sense that Fletcher Cox is making offensive linemen want to take the week off when they have to play against him.
It's a regular routine for him, isn't it?
It really is. That play there, that's him all day long. Good luck trying to block him and keep him from disrupting your offense.
Don't forget, coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Larry Ridley. Larry will have the highlights of this first half, but he won't have touchdowns because we haven't had any to this point.
But there's still time, though, partner.
On third down, Wilson. He finds his man, Baldwin. They convert on third with a gain of 22.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Second down, Wilson throwing the out route incomplete. It's Richardson. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
When you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. This will be caught just inside the 10. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Throwing again here, Wilson. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. On second down, here's Wilson. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. That catch good for 8, but still, it's 3rd and goal now. And this offense on 3rd down today, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and goal. From the shotgun, Wilson. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half. So now it's Andrew Franks on for the field goal. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And Franks' kick is good. And that will tie things up as we head toward halftime. And that three-point tally now means we are even here toward the end of the second quarter.
And what a way to end the half. Put some points on the board, feel better about yourselves as a team, and you're right back to even.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. Fielded about a yard deep. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
They'll begin here with Blunt. And he'll take this one up to about the 23. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
So we've reached halftime in a low-scoring affair, just a pair of field goals. 3-3 is our score. As we send you cross-country to our EA Sports Studios in Orlando with our halftime report, here's Larry Ridley.
Thanks, Brandon. I'm Larry Ridley, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. Let's look back now at this closely contested first half. Both the Seahawks and the Eagles are having some trouble moving the ball through the air. The yardage totals are low, and that's helped play into what was a low-scoring first half. All right, let's roll those moving pictures. Seahawks with the ball late in the half. Russell Wilson hooking up with Doug Baldwin. And he'll eventually be brought down, but not before getting to the 32-yard line. Unfortunately, they would have to settle for just a field goal. So that'll do it from here in Orlando. For the second half kickoff, let's get you back up to Seattle and Brandon Guy.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these team special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Now a play fake here on first down. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And he's brought down after a good gain. He got 29 yards that time. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
Lacey gets the handoff from Wilson. Dodges him at the 50. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. They stay on the ground on first down with Lacey. He'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. And when you're running the football, one thing you don't want to see is a big boy coming up there and swallow you whole in those D tackles and nose tackles.
No, you're actually counting on your big boys to protect you from them. But on that play, the defensive tackle had the leverage, and he won the battle. No gain, correct?
No gain. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And we will remain tied here in this 3rd quarter.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the 2nd half. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break the... That's caught at the 25. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
We just saw him hit a big play there on a deep post. And most of the time, the post isn't available because usually you have defenders in the middle of the field. But if you throw enough curls and crossing routes and underneath routes, I know from experience, they get tired of watching those balls get caught. They start to creep up a little bit, and that's when you can hit them big over the top.
Big boys down there in the trenches and a nice play to stop them cold. Nothing there.
Yeah, when you talk about big boys, you talk about those defensive tackles, those nose tackles. They're not just big, they're immense. And what a big-time play there.
So back-to-back plays here where he couldn't get anything on the ground. Now you face a 3rd and 10 and assume you're going to try to pass it, right?
I would think so because you've tried to run the ball, and really it doesn't matter who got the ball in the play because there was no space to go. So then I think you step back, throw the ball to try and pick up the 1st down.
Jeffrey reels it in over the middle. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. And they'll get 10 there, but it leaves him just short for 4th down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
So they don't get a touchdown here on this opening drive of the 3rd quarter, but I think you still say mission accomplished as they come away from it with the lead.
Absolutely. You've got to apply the pressure here, make the other guys play catch-up for a while, and now you just hope your defense can step up and protect the lead.
Now it's Sturgis converted on the field goal. Now he'll send this one away on the kickoff. This is fielded a couple yards deep. So quick on the spin.
He's spinning, man.
And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. The last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
That defensive front four has been very good. They have just not let the running game get going, have they?
Not at all. In fact, the entire offense just looking a little bit out of sync in this one.
Yeah, sometimes this is why coaches like 4-down defensive linemen, they feel like they can cover more ground when defending the run.
So now 11 yards to go for this offensive unit. It's second down. Wilson on the draw. He'll give to Lacey. And he will fight his way forward to about the 23-yard line. A gain of a yard gets them back where they started. Now it's 3rd and 10.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
To throw on 3rd down. Wilson throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's going to be stopped dead in his tracks right on the 30-yard line.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job here of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Here's John Ryan now as he's on to punt for Seattle. And he'll keep this one away from Sproles as this is angled toward the sideline. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super tough.
Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. They'll run again with Blunt. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. Drops it off to Ajayi. It's a gain of 7, and that's going to make it 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Here's Donnie Jones now as he's on to punt for Philadelphia. One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Here's Donnie Jones now as he's on to punt for Philadelphia. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Now Wilson. He's going to air this out for Baldwin. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
And spins away. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves its sticks. Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. So we come up here on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Timmy Jernigan. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And now the offense will look to respond after the sack. The play fake to Lacey. Now this is Wilson. And some room to work. Now a flag comes in from the umpire after a gain of about 4. And this looks like it's going to be holding.
Holding offense.
That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against him.
Here's Wilson to throw on 2nd down. This complete to Lockett. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. And the Seahawks on 3rd down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and a mile. They go. Play action with Wilson. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Over the middle here to Wilson. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. From midfield now, here's Wilson. Throwing the slant pattern here, complete. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. They'll hand it off. Lacey. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. So just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Now we've got whistles and movement up front. I think this is against Seattle.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. So the penalty by the offense, and now they face a 1st and 15. To throw is Wilson. From the gun, he'll throw. He gets it to Baldwin. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
And you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
The offense certainly looking to score some points, but they also need ball security here late as we get down to the final moments of this one. To throw on 2nd down. Wilson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And that's what he did.
Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a 1st down in field goal range already. Well, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. Now Wilson on 1st down. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And they're 6 yards away from picking up the 1st here on 2nd down. He's back to throw. And he'll be out of bounds all the way down at the 6. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal. Working the sideline there. Good route, good catch. 1st down, and he gets out of bounds.
Now you have to like the play call because you have to run some guys down the middle of the field to draw some of the defenders away. They can't just let them guard the sideline exclusively. That's how it's going to work. Sidelines and incompletions to use the clock.
And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on. Back to throw. And this one's incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there. That'll bring up 2nd down. He was unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Now we've got whistles and movement up front. I think this is against Seattle.
False start, offense.
And that'll set them back 5. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Following the penalty now, Lacey. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7. Back to throw. And he fires one, but incomplete. It's not exactly what you want there, especially given the time on the clock. But now, you've got to kick the field goal, right?
You do, and actually, you show a little faith in your defense when you do that, because you kick the field goal here, you're telling them, we believe you'll get the ball back for us for one more shot.
So now here's the kicker, Andrew Franks, in a pressure spot. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And Frank's kick is good. And we are all tied here in the final stages. So now then, it's a big kick there to get this game back to even. Now the worry is, did you leave too much time on the clock? Because another field goal could still do you in.
Brandon, we're going to see right here. I would expect that after the kickoff, this offense is going to come out throwing. So those first few plays are going to be the key.
Back out for another drive comes LeGarrette Blount. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on our side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments. And you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half. It gets ugly in the second half.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Wentz to throw. And he dumps it off to Blount. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. They'll get a couple yards on that one. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Well, that sets up a big 3rd down. Now the decision has to be, do you run it here and play for OT, or do you go ahead and press it downfield?
They run with a jive. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. Here is the punter Jones as he gets this one away. Now fair catch is called for and taken at the, we'll call it the 37-yard line. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. Sheds off the tackle, and it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Work with me, partner. Take a deep breath, because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle, kind of scan the crowd, see if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
Now Wilson. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Holding offense.
He's trying to protect his quarterback's blind side. Got nabbed for the hold.
You have one job over there. Make sure that man does not get hit. So if you have to hold occasionally, do so, because they don't catch all of them. This time they did.
Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. Here's Wilson. And some room to maneuver. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. Give him 7 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. And we've got free football. 4 quarters done, and we're dead even. We'll have overtime after this timeout. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that trend.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Oh, free safety blitz. That can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble, because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
The busy night continues for Lacey. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. First throw in overtime now for Wilson. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Fletcher Cox coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's John Ryan now. On for a very important punt here in overtime. Now a fair catch signaled for and made right about the 43-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Now part 1 is done, now part 2. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. Another nice job there defensively. They've really stymied their passing attempts, and it continues in overtime.
And for them to do that, that means they've had to be cohesive on defense. Pressure in the quarterback's face. Good coverage of not just the wide receivers, but the tight end, the running backs when they try and slip out, and making sure they're at the point of attack. When the ball's in the air, they get there and help force some of those incompletions.
Overtime here out west, and you got a team from the Eastern time zone. Maybe their body clock's a little thrown off, or is that overhyped?
I don't think it's overhyped, and I think that for most teams, you're hoping that your mind overrules your body, because your body's looking for slippers and bedtime clothes, right? They're looking for the pajamas. But in this case, you've got to stay with it mentally. And what a lot of teams do, they never change their watches. They always say on East Coast time and just go ahead that way to try and defeat any of the effects of moving to the West.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. And they'll go Wentz to Blunt here. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. Well, he had 2 sacks earlier. Now he has 4 total tackles for a loss after that play.
Well, they obviously have to do a better job trying to block him. But short of that, you know what the quarterback has to do? Make sure he doesn't hand it to him when he's back there thinking he's one of his own guys. His quickness, his suddenness, his speed getting into the offense's backfield has been something else in this game.
The Eagles on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 9. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. I'm no offensive mastermind, but of all the guys on the field to block, you might want to stop him.
Look, I've got a very simple rule. An unblocked defender is usually your best defender, and he ended up making the play there.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. We were just treated to an absolute dandy in this one. A great finish in overtime with a long field goal. Everybody, including us, on the edge of their seats. Quite a game.
And it's rare that you get a game into overtime that it doesn't turn out to be a dandy, right? That's what we saw here. And just what you were talking about, a long field goal to win it. So definitely not a gimme. So there was tension all the way through until the ball went through the post.
But it did go through the post. Ice water was in his veins. So for Philadelphia, the playoffs may be out of reach, but the win gets them to 4-8 on the year. And they'll have another road date next week with the Los Angeles Rams. Meanwhile, for Seattle, it's a tough one to swallow as they drop back to 8-4 on the year. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Jaguars in Jacksonville. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.